students. Our next topic from the aldehyde ketones and carboxylic acids is physical properties. Those are very important things regarding our MCQ type of questions. So you have to pay attention towards these physical properties. We studied so many physical properties in 11th standard that all of you know: boiling point, melting point, then van der Waals forces, then hydrogen bonding, and regarding that other aspects are also there, just like a steric effect, then hindrance. All these things we studied a little bit in 11th standard also. Now particularly we are going to study for aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. So first we have to see nature of intermolecular forces. Nature of intermolecular forces. All of you know that not a single atom will be present. There are so many atoms and molecules in a compound, and then they create a forces. Okay, so in carbonyl bond, that is our C double bond O, in aldehyde and ketones, is a polar covalent bond. Is a polar covalent bond. We know the covalent bond, that's the mutual sharing of electrons, but it is polar. That means it carries two poles. It has two poles like this one, and that's why as there are the two poles, means it is a polar carrying two charges. This is one pole, this is another pole. We can say this is a partial negative charge, while this carbon is having partial positive charge. Then in another molecule opposite to that, there is formation of forces of attraction like this. Forces of attraction like this in partial negative charge and partial positive charge. This is one C double bond O carbonyl molecule. This is another carbonyl molecule, and we arrange in this way, like this negative charge comes towards positive charge, this positive charge comes towards negative charge, means they are having dipole. This is dipole. This is one dipole, this is another dipole, and they are having forces of attraction. We know that there is a attraction in between negative charge and positive charge. These are the partial charges. We can say delta negative charge, or we can say partial negative charge, or delta positive charge, or partial positive charge. Okay. See, it's the same thing. The molecules orient in such a way as to have oppositely polarized atoms facing each other. They are oppositely polarized atoms facing each other. Here it is C double bond O, while here it is C double bond O. Like oppositely polarized, minus plus, plus minus, like this. Okay, this is known as dipole-dipole attraction in carbonyl compounds. Okay, this is given on page number 264. Dipole-dipole attraction in carbonyl compounds. Next topic is solubility of aldehydes and ketones. Solubility of aldehydes and ketones. Okay, now solubility means the compound is soluble in water, or compound is soluble in organic solvents. We say like that is the solubility. Okay, so aldehydes and ketones up to 4 carbon. Up to 4 carbon. 4 carbon means which compound? That is with 4 carbon, like this, with 4 carbon. Suppose here it is aldehyde group, or if there is a ketone, then somewhere like in between these two ends there is a carbonyl compound. So this is aldehyde up to 4, and this is ketone up to 4. Means start with formaldehyde 1 carbon, then acetaldehyde 2 carbons, then propionaldehyde, that is 3 carbons, then butanaldehyde, that is 4 carbons. So up to 4 carbon, these are miscible with water. These are miscible with water. This is very interesting thing. Up till now we studied that the organic compounds are soluble in only organic solvents, but here aldehyde and ketones are soluble up to 4 carbon in water. Okay, this is due to the presence of hydrogen bonding. This is due to the presence of hydrogen bonding. We studied this hydrogen bonding in alcohol also. We know that There is a hydrogen bonding in between two alcohol molecules. Similarly here in aldehyde and ketones, this polar carbonyl carbon group and the water molecule, that is the negative and positive charge. This is water molecule. H is having partial positive charge. This H is having partial positive charge, while this O is having partial negative charge. Then they are having hydrogen bonding. They are having hydrogen bonding. Okay, here it is partial positive charge, partial negative charge, and they form a hydrogen bonding in between hydrogen of water molecule and carbonyl oxygen of the aldehyde and ketone. This is hydrogen bonding. Okay. Then with the increase in the size of alkyl group, the solubility decreases. Increase in the size of alkyl group, solubility decreases. And the compounds with more than 4 atoms are practically insoluble in water. All aldehydes and ketones are, however, soluble in organic solvents such as ether, alcohol, chloroform, etc. And the ketones are very good organic solvents are also. Ketones are very good organic solvents too. Okay. So now this is very important. You have to remember up to 4 carbon, this is miscible with water. More than 4 carbon means the hydrocarbon, parent hydrocarbon is pentane, and more than that is immiscible in water. But all from formaldehyde to any number of carbon, they are soluble in organic solvents. They are soluble in organic solvents. All aldehydes and ketones are soluble in organic solvents. And why this is so? Here it is, they are forming hydrogen bonding, and now there is small compound that is up to 4 member. That means there is no steric hindrance or there is no crowded thing. So they can form very easily OH bonding, that is the hydrogen bonding. If as the here, suppose here it is R, or here it is H, or here it is R, and here it is R dash, then as these alkyl groups goes on increasing, crowding goes on increasing, and very easily OH bond is not going to form. Okay, and that's why higher aldehydes and ketones are immiscible with water. Immiscible with water, while up to 4 carbon, this is miscible with water. Yes. Now next important thing, that is physical state and boiling point of aldehyde and ketones. Boiling point of aldehydes and ketones. We know the physical states. Which are those physical states? It is solid, liquid, and gaseous state. These are the physical states. Okay. Now, particularly these things are given, and these are very important for our MCQ type of questions. Okay. Even for the board, they can ask you the 2 marks or 1 mark question also. Formaldehyde is a gas. This is very important. Formaldehyde is a gas at room temperature, and it has very irritating odor. Irritating odor. So we just can't bear this odor. So this is irritating odor. While acetaldehyde is volatile. Means what? If you are going to keep in a room at the room temperature in a room, it will evaporate. So it is volatile. It is colorless liquid, no color. Then acetone, which is a ketone, is a liquid at room temperature with very pleasant odor. We know that. We feel like a good odor of this acetone. So this is a pleasant odor. We know our nail paint remover, that is nothing but acetone, and we know the smell of that. That is the odor of that, and which is the pleasant one. Then higher aldehydes also having pleasant odors. Higher ketones have bland odors, no odor at all. It is very bland. No irritating or no pleasant odor. No irritating or no pleasant odor. So these are the bland odors. Now next one is the boiling point of aldehyde and ketones are higher than corresponding hydrocarbons and alcohols. Higher than corresponding carbons and alcohol. This is very important. Means what? See now. Here it is. You can see our previous chapters. That is 11th standard we studied hydrocarbons, and then in our 12th standard now we studied alcohols, and now we are studying aldehyde and ketones. So corresponding hydrocarbon, suppose now this is our ethane. Okay, then this is our alcohol, ethanol, and now this is our acetaldehyde. Okay, with the 2 carbons. Everywhere here it is 2 carbons and 2 carbons. Then boiling point of this aldehyde and ketones, or ketone also, but ketone you have to take 3 carbon compound ketone. First example of the ketone is our acetone, and there are 3 carbons, not 2 carbons, 3 carbons. So we can compare in between these 3. We are not going to compare now this, because we have to take another hydrocarbons and another alcohol for this 3 carbon compound. Okay, so here in our textbook it is given that these hydrocarbons and alcohols are having less boiling point than this aldehyde. We are now going to see what is the reason in between this comparison in between this hydrocarbon, alcohol and aldehydes. Okay, so now next topic is physical state and boiling point and solubilities of carboxylic acid. Before this, here in our textbook, the table is given, that is boiling points of aldehydes and ketones. See now, methanol boiling point is 252 K, while ethanol it is 294, propanol 319. Here, as I said before, from the 3-member chain, first ketone is going to start. So here it is the propanol and it is 329 Kelvin. And see now, as molecular weight goes on increasing, boiling point goes on increasing. Similarly here, boiling point of the ketone is in increasing order. Okay, and this is nothing but our homologous series. Everywhere this is a homologous series. The difference in between 2 compounds is of dash CH2. We studied in 11th standard dash CH2, and that's why in our 12th standard book it is also given increasing boiling points in the homologous series of aldehydes and ketones. This is a homologous series, and you easily understand this thing. As a molecular weight goes on increasing means bonds are more, and we require more energy to break those bonds, and that's why boiling point goes on increasing. Okay, boiling point goes on increasing. If you want to compare with alcohol, go to the alcohol chapter. If you want to compare with the hydrocarbons, go to the 11th standard book and check whether these are higher than hydrocarbons and alcohols or not. Okay, do that. Next is physical state and boiling points and solubility of the carboxylic acids. This we studied for aldehyde and ketone. Now we are going to study for carboxylic acids. Okay, now what is the carboxylic acid? We know it very well. Carboxylic acid is nothing but C double bond OOH functional group. C double bond OOH functional group. Okay, so lower aliphatic carboxylic acids are colorless liquid with irritating odor. First we will going to see the physical state. Physical state. First we are going to study physical state. Lower aliphatic carboxylic acids are colorless liquid with irritating odor. We know that what is the irritating and what is the pleasant. The higher members are colorless. They are colorless. Okay, and they are solid just like a wax. They are solid just like a wax. We know wax very well. Okay, and they are having low volatility. Okay, they are not volatile when you are going to keep at the room temperature or in a room open to air, because they are solids. They are solid just like a wax. So they are having low volatility. Which are the liquids? They are having more volatility, while the solids are having low volatility. Carboxylic acids have higher boiling point than alkanes, ethers, alcohols, aldehydes and ketones. So whatever we studied up till now, with that comparison, carboxylic acids are having higher boiling point than everything whatever we studied. Okay, as carboxylic acids, this is the very important reason, as carboxylic acids make a dimer, this is the new term, dimer, in which two molecules hold by hydrogen bonds. What is dimer? Two molecules hold by hydrogen bonds. See now here, this is one molecule of the carboxylic acid, CH3, C double bond O, OH. This is one molecule. This is another molecule, CH3, C double bond O, OH. What is this? This is nothing but CH3, C double bond OH. This is our acetic acid. Now these are two molecules of the acetic acid. Okay. When there is a single molecule, then we call it as a monomer. When there are two molecules, we call as a dimer. Okay, this is dimer. Now how this dimer? They are actually connected to each other by hydrogen bonding. Connected to each other by hydrogen bonding. This carries partial negative charge, while this hydrogen has partial positive charge. Similarly, this hydrogen of this molecule has partial positive charge, while this carbonyl oxygen has partial negative charge, and they form a bond in between these two, and this is nothing but hydrogen bond formation in between two molecules. Okay, so here this due to bonding formation in between hydrogen and carbonyl oxygen, there is an increase of intermolecular van der Waals forces. Van der Waals forces are going to increase, and it become a strong bond. It will become a strong bond when the van der Waals forces increase, and that's why we require more energy to break these bonds, to break all the bonds, and that's why boiling point is higher. That's why boiling point is higher. Now see here, in our textbook chart is given. We will see the formic acid. This is HCOH 373 Kelvin. While for methanol it is just 252 Kelvin. So these are two corresponding aldehyde and corresponding acid. This is corresponding aldehyde and this is corresponding acid, HCOH. So for carboxylic acid is having higher boiling point, that is 373 Kelvin, while this methanol is just 252. Now we will compare with all aldehydes and ketones. Now take this propanol. This is 319 Kelvin, propanol is 329 Kelvin, while this propanonic acid is 414 Kelvin. Now you can compare this, 319 Kelvin for aldehyde, then 329 Kelvin for ketone, okay, while here it is 414 Kelvin for carboxylic acid, Are you getting this point? See how the boiling point goes on increasing, and this is all due to dimer. This is all due to formation of dimer in carboxylic acids. Okay. Next topic is solubility of carboxylic acid. It is solubility of the carboxylic acid in water decreases with increasing molecular mass. Means what? In a homologous series, as the number of carbon goes on increasing, so the molecular mass goes on increasing, then the solubility of the carboxylic acid in water decreases. Higher carboxylic acid insoluble in water but soluble in polar solvents like organic solvents, ether, alcohol, benzene and so on. Okay. Why this is so? This is due to the polarity of carbonyl group. Now what is this polarity of carbonyl group? In carbonyl group, oxygen shows higher electronegativity. This oxygen shows higher electronegativity relative to this carbon. Okay. Now we can understand with this the resonating structures. We know the resonance, we know the resonating structures. We studied in 11th standard as well as in 12th standard. Okay. In 11th standard we studied in aromatic compounds. What are the resonating structures? See now, this is our carbonyl compound. Here it is double bond in between C double bond O. Okay. Now there is a carbonyl oxygen is going to pull the electrons from this carbon in this way. Okay. And that's why this carbonyl oxygen is having partial negative charge while this carbon is having partial positive charge. Partial positive charge. We know in resonating structures, we move the bonds. We move the bonds. So now to study the resonating structure, we are going to move this bond. We can move this bond here. So now already there are two lone pair of electrons. What we call lone pair of electrons. Okay, of electrons. These are two. If we are going to move this bond over here, there are formation of three lone pair of electrons. Three lone pair of electrons. And so this another pair now will give a minus charge. This another pair will give a minus charge. And we are moving this bond over here, means we are moving electrons here. So this C will carry positive charge. This C will carry positive charge. Now why? Because now it become electron deficient. While this oxygen is now electron rich. So here it is negative charge. And this is the resonating structures are there, means now we can again move these electrons over here and we will get this structure. Then we can show resonating structures by two-headed arrow like this. And to understand, we are writing here bracket. Okay. So what is the resonance hybrid? Resonance hybrid is like this. This bond is moving. This bond is moving. That's why we are showing here the partial bond. This bond is moving. Here it is double bond converted into single bond. That's why this bond we had shown in the partial character. And then here it is delta negative and delta positive. So this is partial negative charge while this one is partial positive charge. This is known as resonance hybrid. Now what is going to happen? See, this is the polarity of the carbonyl group. We are having polar nature of bonds, polar nature of carbonyl oxygen and polar nature of carbonyl carbon. This is carbonyl oxygen, this is carbonyl carbon. Carbonyl oxygen, carbonyl carbon. Now see, in structure A and D, this structure A and structure D, carbon has positive charges. Carbon has positive charges. That means there is a polarity. Therefore, it is electron deficient. And as a result, this carbon atom is electrophilic. Means electron loving. This is electrophilic. Means this is electron loving. This is electron loving. And it is deficient. So, that is when it is deficient, then it always wants some more electrons. We know that to satisfy the octet rule, we need more electrons if it is deficient. Okay. And that's why electrophile can attack over here. Electrophile can attack over here. So as a result, this carbon atom is electrophile and it may attack by a nucleophile. Nucleophile which is having a negative charge. This nucleophilic attack we studied in SN1 and SN2 also. So we know that what is nucleophile, what is electrophile, how they are going to attack. Substitution nucleophilic unimolecular, and we studied substitution nucleophilic bimolecular. Same concept is here, that this nucleophile Nu minus, okay, is going to attack on this positive charge which is electron loving, which is electrophile. So nucleophile is going to attack on electrophile. So now due to this negative charge, it may satisfy its octet rule and it is going to give a stable product. Now what is reactivity of aldehydes and ketones? Reactivity of aldehydes and ketones. Aldehydes and ketones shows polar carbonyl group. We know now it very well, which results in electrophilicity of the carbon. Generally, aldehydes are more reactive than ketones. Aldehydes are more reactive than ketones, and we can explain it by electronic and steric effect. Please remember this thing. There are so many MCQs are structured on aldehydes and ketones based upon their reactivity, and we have to know aldehydes are more reactive than ketones. Remember this thing. Okay. Now we can explain it by electronic and steric effect. Now what is electronic effect? Okay, in aldehyde, one electron donating alkyl group. Aldehyde, one electron donating alkyl group. See, this is our aldehyde. This is our aldehyde, and there is one R. So this is electron donating alkyl group, which we studied in 11th standard. It shows inductive effect, which is positive inductive effect. Means what? Electron donating inductive effect. This R is going to donate electrons to this carbonyl carbon. So it shows plus I effect. Plus I effect. Here it is 1 R. But if you are going to think about the ketone, then there are 2 R's. There are 2 R's. So both the way they are going to donate electrons to this carbon. And that's why polarity of this carbon is going to decrease. While here it is 1H, 1 air. So as compared to ketone, this is having less polarity. So this delta positive charge is going to retain somewhat. But here this delta positive charge going to decrease due to donation of the electrons from these 2 R's. And therefore, aldehydes are more reactive than ketones. So attack on this is very easy than this, because this charge is decreased due to these 2 positive inductive effects of alkyl groups. Okay, this is under electronic effect, donation of electrons. So we can say this is under electronic effect. Now what is steric effect? Steric effect. Steric means when there is a crowded molecule, then suppose there are the bulky molecules, alkyl groups, they are showing some hindrance. So nucleophilic attack is sterically hindered, means there is a very less space to attack on electrophile by nucleophiles. Okay, why this is so? Because if there are 2 bulky alkyl groups, and in ketones here are 2 bulky alkyl groups, if supposed to. Okay, so like this, if this is a ketone and the one group is like this and another alkyl group is like this, means these are the bulkier groups, and so it's a crowded place, and so there is a steric hindrance to attack on this carbonyl carbon. But as compared to ketones, in aldehyde there is less steric hindrance, because one side there is only H, a very small element H, and now this is the alkyl group. But as there is a less steric hindrance, attack here it is quite possible. It is quite easily can attack on this carbonyl carbon. Nucleophile can attack on this carbonyl carbon very easily. Easy attack. Here it is easy attack. While here it is that as compared to this, here it is more steric hindrance, more bulkier groups, so it is not easy. And that's why aldehydes are more reactive than ketones. Their reactivity is more than ketones due to these 2 reasons. First one is the electronic effect. We have to explain plus I effect, that is the electron donating inductive effect, and then the steric effect. As in ketones there is a steric hindrance. Due to bulkier groups, and in aldehydes there is just one H is there and one alkyl group is there, so the steric hindrance is less, and that's why aldehydes are more reactive than ketones. Here it is more reactive than ketones. This is more reactive than ketones. Are you getting this thing? So this is all for today's lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to see the chemical properties. We studied physical properties. Now in the next lecture, we will going to study chemical properties. Those are nothing but chemical reactions of aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. That is very important, and portion is also more in that topic. So you have to do more and more practice for the next topic, that is the chemical properties. See you in the next lecture.